What's up, everybody? It's John here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Doom course update for Dead by Daylight, going for the Adept Houndmaster achievement. This one's going to be done from the killer's side. You are going to need the updates killer in the form of the Houndmaster, so make sure you grab her from the DLC pack or from the in-game store. This achievement is to get a merciless killer rating with her, only using her 3 unique perks. You are going to need to get her to a minimum of level 10 before you can get started on this, as you are going to need 3 open perk slots. The perks you want to run and only run are going to be these 3. You're going to need All Shaking Thunder. The second one, you're going to need No Quarter. And then the third and final one is going to be Jagged Compass, which is going to be a Scourge Hook perk. Leave the 4th slot empty if you have that available to you, and you can do whatever you want for add-ons or offerings. Make sure you get into the game, and of course, to get a Merciless Killer rating, you are going to need to get that Quad Sacrifice or Quad Kill. So we're going to hop into things. The main gimmick with the Houndmaster is going to be her dog. You're going to have 2 modes for the dog that you can switch between using the left bumper. You're going to have the search mode, which is going to help you sniff survivors out, but more likely than not, you're going to stick to the default, which is going to be the chase mode. Chase mode is going to give you your left trigger attack, which is going to be to fire off the dog in a straight line. Any survivor who is going to get caught by the dog is going to have this little tug of war with him, and then you can take this opportunity to punish them accordingly. Now, the dog is going to be a little tricky when it comes to aiming, as it's going to be a straight firing attack, and the main Dead by Daylight counter to this is to just turn slightly if you are a survivor. So that being said, you are going to want to look for opportunities to use the dog more efficiently. Best case scenario is you find some survivors who are going to be standing still, so do take advantage of survivors who are currently on generators or trying to unhook their teammates. Or if you play this a little smart, you can use the dog as an anti-looping strategy. So just make sure you try to bait the survivors into a loop. Try to get them in a spot where they are standing still, like next to the pallet, for example, in order for them to camp it. And then fire the dog before they can drop the pallet, and you should be able to punish accordingly. Now, the cool thing is, even if they drop the pallet early, the dog can vault over pallets. So you can fire the dog over the pallet, and as the dog is doing their little tug of war with the survivor, that's going to give you more than enough time to not only break the pallet, but get to the other side and then punish accordingly. When it comes to the perk loadouts, her first perk is probably going to be the most useful. It's going to kick in after you drop from a height. It's basically going to extend your normal attack a few seconds after the drop. So make sure you do take advantage, especially if you are chasing any survivors who are trying to give you the shake. So just make sure you try to chase them up a hill or something, and then make sure you take advantage of the high ground, and then on your way down, you're going to be able to close the distance. The second perk is going to be rather situational and is going to take place in the background. It's basically going to slow down anyone who's going to be self-healing, so you aren't going to really notice it too much. As for her third and final perk, it's going to be a Scourge Hook perk. So whenever you are given the chance to hook someone, make sure you bring them to a white hook. This one also isn't going to be terribly useful. Pretty much if you do use a Scourge Hook, it's just going to highlight the generator that has the most progress on it in yellow. That's going to give you a nice plan for your next course of action, but again, it's not going to be super useful. Now, the key to doing well with the Houndmaster is to get used to your second chase opportunity. So if you happen to miss your initial shot with the dog, you should be able to hit right trigger to switch to the dog's point of view, and then you can redirect your chase. Mastering this technique is going to allow you to salvage a bunch of shots that you are going to more likely than not miss, because the survivors are going to counter you by turning slightly. So even though the Houndmaster isn't going to have a ton to work with this build, nothing is going to beat good old Dead by Daylight fundamentals, so just make sure you fall back on those if everything otherwise fails, and you should be able to get the Quad Sacrifice / Quad Kill, and then get that Merciless Killer rating. So just make sure you be persistent with it, but once you do pull it off, the achievement's going to unlock once you get to the results screen. And yes, you can pet the dog. Make sure you do that with right bumper, especially if you do manage to get the successful Merciless Killer rating. There's your result, and there's the achievement that goes along with it. This one's going to be for 20 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.